Welcome to Sports Talkin' right here on SWKS Radio. I'm Cray.
I'm Phil, and we're your alternative to all the other guys. I was trying to think of a marketing differentiation, Cray, on why you would want to listen to you and me versus all those other people out there that talk about sports. And I was thinking, well, we're just the alternative to all those other guys.
Well, we're not going to feed you BS to get clicks like the Skip Baylesses of the world.
So we're the golly, that's a pretty good lead-in, Cray. Let me try to massage that thought process where we don't clickbait, we what?
That's too much thinking.
Yeah.
My mind's on opening day at the K, which is happening today.
Yeah, home opener today. Who's on the pitching duties?
That's a good question. If I had to guess, I would assume
I thought you knew.
Bubic. I would probably say that would be a good estimate. But it is opening day at the K. It's weird, opening day on a Monday, and then you get a day off on Tuesday, and then you're back with the same series on a Wednesday. A little weird from the Royals, however. I'm excited.
You know, they do that, and the reason they do that, they do it every year. When they have an opening day game, the next day there's no game. And the reason for that is it's usually a 3-game series, and they save it just in case it's a rain out. They've got day 3 to play a doubleheader.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. I remember asking that question at a meeting, and the people at the K said that's why they do it. I don't know if they do it for every team on home opener. So it's not necessarily every series, just the home opener.
Yeah. And it is Chris Bubic on the mound. But Phil, the Royals, I mean, one series under their belt already. In my mind, who really cares about the first 10 games of the MLB season? Because it's mainly everybody getting back into the routine of playing, seeing pitches, kind of getting back into regular season form.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Well, I could go back. I don't remember the year. Tony Pena, for all you old guys that remember Tony Pena, when he was the manager. God, I think they just blew out to like a 15-2 record. And then they ended up under 500.
Well, it's an impressive start.
Yeah, they were the talk of the town. We had the KAB, we have our sports seminar in April every year. And this year our guest speaker was Tony Pena. So he comes in, talks to us, and I mean everybody is just zipping and doo-dah-daying at the K. I mean, it's just the best thing in the world. And Tony Pena was the greatest manager of all time at that moment. And I think they were calling for his head by mid-July.
Probably, without a doubt. Yeah. And that just comes with the job. You know, if you're underperforming, they're going to call you for your job. And that's just the way the sports world works. Yeah, is it a little bit cutthroat? Sure. Do I wish it was a little more of an emphasis in Kansas? Yes. I don't think we're cutthroat enough in Kansas sports.
Oh, wow.
I do. I think we let guys go with a long leash.
Give me a few. Give me a few names.
A good example right now is I'm going to say Jerome Tang. They let him go for a lot longer than I think they should have. I think the end of last season, they should have said, we're done. Not wait until halfway through a season.
Well, I would say, now let me ask you that question. I'm putting you on the spot. Did the AD that made the deal, is he the same guy that fired him?
Yes.
Okay, he didn't inherit the deal. He made the deal. Here's my opinion. Here's what I think. The AD should get fired for hiring Jerome Tang. And then the new guy gets to fire Jerome Tang as his opening round statement. You're fired!
And just get those brownie points off rip? Yeah.
You kind of walk in there like the muscle, you're done. Well, you're going to make it in the press conference. Are you going to make any immediate changes? What are you talking about there, Mr. Reporter? Let's just go with your head basketball coach. To be determined. So you kind of leave everybody, on the wondering side, and then you walk in day one. You're fired.
Yeah. Let me think of another one. Todd Haley who coached the Kansas City Chiefs. What was that, in 2009 to 2011? I think they fired in the middle of 11. I mean,
he should have got fired on day 2.
yeah, that's what.
He wasn't very good.
No, yeah. And I think that's the thing with the Kansas media. I think they let a lot go. I don't think they're hard enough. And, and maybe it's a Big 12 problem too. I'm thinking college right now is you got to ask harder hitting questions. You want to be compared to the SEC. Well, the SEC, a coach who loses a big game, and they're on their head after the press conference. They're asking every question under the sun, and I feel like that's just not something we see in the Big 12 with Kansas schools.
Yeah. I don't pay much attention to it. So honestly, gotcha reporting. I don't care about that.
I think it's necessary to some extent, though.
Well, but I mean gotcha versus pressing questions, like Coach, you didn't make a field goal in 7 attempts, and you still got the same kicker. What's up? That kind of question to me is a legitimate question versus it was 4th and 10. You were behind by a touchdown on the 7 with 2 seconds left to go. Why did you kick a field goal? Well, idiot. And that's what I would like to see.
Yeah.
Is, that kind of, look, dude, you're asking a pretty dumb question. Next.
And I think the coaches should have the right to just say, hey, at least one time per year, just get out. Stupid question, just get out of the press conference.
Yeah.
Why not let them have that one time?
You get to eject one reporter per press conference. One per.
The Boston Celtics head coach, Joe Mazzulla, at the beginning of every season, he says in order for the reporters to ask whatever question they want, they have to play our coaching staff in a 5v5 game. And they did it, and they kick the crap out of the reporters every single year, and it's awesome. Sure. It's great.
So then what's the outcome?
And then they can ask whatever questions they want.
But they have to win?
No, they have to
just
play. They have to participate, yeah.
Okay. Is it no blood, no foul kind of rule?
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I mean, he's a pretty foul-heavy guy, but
I can live with that.
Back on track here. I mean, it is opening day at the K, and Phil, one thing that I love about Kauffman Stadium is how fun it is to go to the game and the game experience, but also how fun the food is and the challenges. They've got things like, I've got a niece and nephew now. They love the little park where the kids can go play.
Yeah,
the food
fun.
Is absolutely awesome there.
Yeah.
They're introducing a whole bunch of new stuff.
What is your favorite food group at a baseball game?
Oh, it's got to be a hot dog. It doesn't matter. It has to be a hot dog at a baseball.
How do you take your dog? Do you like the everything on them dog?
Yeah, I have to.
Okay, onions?
Except relish. Relish is...
Relish, okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Onion, grilled?
Onion on hot dog, yeah.
Grilled peppers?
Yeah, sure.
Cat soup?
No, you lost me.
I'm good. You're still in the game.
But
sauerkraut?
No, okay, never mind. That doesn't go on hot dogs, does it?
Yeah. Especially with everything. How about mustard?
Yeah, of course. Mustard and ketchup are a necessity on every hot dog.
Well, that's what I meant by cat soup. How about a little bit of jalapeno?
No.
So you don't like hot stuff. Okay. Well, everything I mentioned is what I like on my dog.
So you just say load it up and
everything goes. Yeah. And all grilled. Bury that hot. I don't want to see the hot dog.
So I wrote this down because I knew that you would love this idea. They actually came out with a new kind of hot dog at Kauffman Stadium for this upcoming season. This is a foot-long hot dog, but it's a beef Wellington hot dog.
A beef Wellington.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's
Go Crusaders.
Introduction to their menu this upcoming season. But also, Phil, this is something that's been trending on social media over the last year. This is something that came to light on social media. Everybody was kind of attempting it if you went to the ballpark, and the Royals have added onto it for $50 now. You can get a $9.99 box, and every inning you're supposed to eat one hot dog and drink one beer out of the box. Doesn't that sound like fun?
So what's the 9 hot dogs, 9 beers. What's the third 9? That's the box? Or
Nine
innings,
innings.
okay.
Yeah.
9 innings, 9 dogs, 9 beers. I could do the 9 beers in the 9 innings, but I don't think I could do the 9 dogs.
I think that's the hardest part. I do
Yeah,
think that's the
yeah.
hardest part.
I could probably do 1 dog after the 9th inning. 2 maybe. Okay, so how many ounces in the beer?
I think it came out to 6 ounces of beer.
Okay, so 6 times 9 is 54. 48 ounces in a 6-pack. That's a pretty good deal.
I mean,
At
it's
a
not
ball
that
game,
deal at all.
because
You
you're
gotta
getting a
remember
hot dog.
dogs. Yeah.
You're getting a hot dog. Hot dog. How do you say hot dog? Do you
Hot
say it
dog.
like?
Just hot dog. No, I don't have that Boston accent.
Yeah. Well, I had a friend from New Jersey. That's why he's a hot dog. Give me a hot dog. I'm a what? A hot dog. Hot dog. And that's how he said it for me to understand him. A hot dog. And I'm like, you got worse. You went from hot dog to hot dog. All right, so that's a pretty good deal. We could maybe try that out.
I think that would be hard. I think that would be
Is
terrifying.
that for every game or just special games?
You can get it at any single game you want to.
At $50 really isn't that bad when you think about stadium food.
No, not at all.
What's
I
the
mean, you can't get 9 beers for $50 at a baseball game.
No, gosh, you
No.
can barely get 2 beers at AT&T Stadium for $50. I'm serious. I mean, they're like 20 apiece.
Yeah. I mean, I think a bucket at a Royals game costs 36 to 40, if I remember correctly.
I bet it's more. A
Yeah?
bucket, yeah, I bet it's more. So what's the most bizarre thing food-wise that you remember at a baseball game? Whether it's the
Oh,
price of
man.
something or a different kind of food group that you got to eat.
You know, I saw this was something that they're offering. I think it's at at Rangers games this upcoming season, and I could be wrong on this. I don't know the exact place, but it was bone marrow soup is something that they're going to be offering at games this year.
I'm not
And I
gonna
don't
get
think
that.
there's something
I'm not going to get that.
yeah, well, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't think that's going to get any sales. I don't think anybody's going to go, oh man, they got bone marrow soup. We got to go out of our way to go to a game and get this.
Let's
No.
go to the game and get some bone marrow soup.
Yeah.
Have you been to a game down there in Texas at Globe Life?
I have not. And see, that was going to be my next question is you've gotten the opportunity, not only with the KAB, but you guys have traveled a lot to go to a lot of these different parks. What would you say your favorite ballpark is,
See,
excluding Kaufman?
I haven't been to that many baseball stadiums. My favorite experience was at Wrigley Field. Loved Wrigley Field.
And that was just the history of it?
I could tell a story, but I'm not going to do that on camera. I'm not going to tell that story. Let's just say they had a cutoff on the 7th inning for beer, so we took advantage of it at the 6th inning. But they had a rule you could only carry, if you couldn't carry it in your hand, you couldn't buy it. So that meant you could only get 2 beers at a time. Yeah, if you're enterprising, you start recruiting people that don't drink beer.
I mean, that's smart. That's taking advantage.
It's looping the rules into your favor.
Yeah.
Or at least using the rule to whatever. Anyway, we were there a little late trying to drink the rest of that beer in the 9th inning.
Well,
Excuse me, at the end of the game. We were there long enough to help clean up.
So Wrigley Field's the best. You
Wrigley
do like
Field-
Globe Life.
Oh, love Globe Life. That's a great stadium. A lot of good food. Yeah, I mean good selections. A lot of easy. It was easy to get up and down from the stands and get back and get yourself in line, and a lot of convenience there. I didn't go to a game, but I have been to Fenway Park. What a cool place!
Oh, I absolutely love Fenway. Yeah.
Really, what would be a cool game to go see, or a cool place to watch a ball game. I think I'm done. I think I've been to 3 baseball stadiums, so I've not been to very many baseball stadiums. But I got a friend, and they were on like stadium number 20 visiting, and I said, I went to a Rangers game, and I didn't like it. And they said, well, who was playing? Were the Royals playing the Rangers? I said, no, they weren't playing it. And they said, oh, well, that's the problem. You got to go when your team is playing. I said, oh, that does make sense. That does make sense. Yeah.
The last Royals game I went to was when it was last KAB convention. Yeah. You always got the cups, the souvenir cups.
Yeah. Go ahead.
That last KAB convention I went to, the Royals were playing the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
And at our hotel, I got to talking to some, I don't want to call them elderly people, but they definitely weren't young. And they were taking a trip and going to watch the Blue Jays at every single stadium in America. And they said that Kauffman was probably a top 10 stadium, but they said the number one is the Pirates Stadium in Pittsburgh. And that's kind of been the consensus of it. Everybody I've talked to that's gone to a bunch of stadiums, they say Pittsburgh Stadium is absolutely beautiful.
And I lied or mistakenly told a falsehood accidentally. I've been to Busch Stadium in St. Louis, and I've also been to where the Washington Nationals play.
Yeah, see, you just came back from that one, didn't you?
Well, we didn't have our meetings there this year, but we did 2 years previously. Yeah, I got to go down in the tunnel and do batting practice. Got some pictures with, so at the K, they got the races with the hot dog, the mustard, and the ketchup.
Right.
In the Nationals games, they have the races with Washington, Lincoln, maybe Jefferson. Remember who the third character. So anyway, they got the big characters that race.
Yeah, they're all dressed up and.
Yep. I got pictures.
I love that. I do.
Yeah,
but there's also that statue of Walter Johnson, Kansas native, sitting right out front.
Yeah. Humboldt, Kansas. The big train. A lot of cool stuff about Walter Johnson. He's from Humboldt. My children were raised in Chanute, which is about 8 to 10 miles south of Humboldt. So it's a pretty cool deal.
Yeah.
Pretty cool deal. So baseball, back to the game. What's your other go-to food item when you're at a baseball game?
That's a good question. I mean, sunflower seeds. You know this. I am chronically addicted to sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
I probably eat a bag every single week sitting here in the office.
You need to clean up that mess around the place where you miss.
Well, you can't have 100% accuracy.
So, one of the things that I think is weird about baseball food or stadium food, at home, I would never eat this, which would be chicken fingers and French fries. I would never eat that at home. But at a baseball game, it's like I got to have it.
It's a go-to.
Okay.
And
I don't know why, if it's the oil that they fry it in is better. I don't know. But for some reason, those French fries, and they're usually the cross-cut fries,
Yeah. Crinkle cut?
Yeah, those are good. I mean, they hold ketchup. They hold barbecue sauce. My son's got me into doing that with the barbecue sauce instead of ketchup on your fries. Barbecue sauce and salt. So now you got the salty sweet combo with your French fry. Oh yeah, I'm getting hungry for a baseball game.
Well, Phil, I'm gonna give you this then. One of the things that Wrigley Field is introducing this year is a different spin on that. It's chicken and churros. You think that'd be something you'd enjoy?
I don't even know what churros are, so you're gonna have to help me.
Yeah, you don't know what a churro is?
Oh, they're
Fried
like a little,
yeah,
like a little taquito.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that'd be interesting. Chicken churros.
It's like fried dough with powdered sugar. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. It's like a dessert.
Yeah.
So it's a miniature funnel cake?
Kind of, yeah. In stick form. It's the best way to put it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's different. But this MLB season is different. The number one thing that everyone's kind of arguing about right now is it's the introduction of the ABS challenge system.
Yeah, explain that, Craig, because I need some help on it.
So they introduced that each team gets 2 initial challenges per game. You can challenge the call. If it's successful, you keep your challenge. If it's unsuccessful, you lose one of them. All you got to do is, if you don't like the call, tap their head, and you have to do it in a certain amount of time, or else the challenge doesn't count.
You got to be a student of the rule.
Yeah. Now, here's why I get a kick out of it, Bill.
Yeah.
Wasn't this the same MLB that introduced the pitch clock to try to speed up the pace of the game?
I think it was intentionally against Zach Greinke, but
I think it
go
was.
ahead. Go ahead on the rest of your thought.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's ridiculous how they're so pro moving up the speed of a baseball game, and they're going to introduce this, which I will admit that it is a pretty quick process. You know, you can tap on their head. It's probably a minute to a minute and a half to challenge a pitch. However, it just doesn't seem something necessary. And again, I'm a little more old school in thinking that's part of the game. You've got to learn the umpire's strike zone. Maybe it's tighter, maybe it's more open, but that's a part of the game. You've got to learn the strike zone.
Yeah.
It's like when you're playing basketball, you got to know if the officiating is going to be calling the game tight or if they're going to be a lot more lenient on the foul calls. It's part of the baseball, and it has been since the start of baseball. And I feel like eventually, at the rate we're going, why are not just have robot umpires?
Yeah, I think my first thought was I thought they were trying to speed the game up, so this is going to slow it down. Then the next thing would be what happens. Yeah, next. Where's the next line? Mm-hmm. Well, we just want to have an umpire behind the plate. Okay, so then how about I go this way? Let's vacate all the wins previously to the year 2026 because we didn't have digital umpires. So umps might have blown the call and now we can't count it. Like, if you talk about games against, that count Royals against the Cardinals, well, the Cardinals lose their mind because they had 2 World Series go against them. And they just lose their mind. Not 2 World Series, but 2 calls in the World Series.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're kind of right. At what point do you vacate them? Phil, I think one of the funniest things on social media is a lot of these younger kids, especially my generation, will say, look who Jordan was playing against compared to LeBron. That's the biggest argument. LeBron or Jordan, right? They say, look, Michael Jordan was playing guys that would be plumbers today. In 40 years from now, Phil, if I have kids, they're going to be saying, look, LeBron was playing TikTokers and social media influencers. It's just a never-ending cycle.
Sure.
And I think that's what makes sports great, is you can have an argument for any era.
Yeah. Well, let's go to Walter Johnson since we brought this up and I've read his book. So Walter Johnson would pitch back-to-back days. He would be the guy in the bullpen in a doubleheader to come out of the bullpen to close them down. And he'd be the closer in game 2.
Right.
He'd be the starter in game 1. He has, I think the stats are, and I might be wrong on this, more complete games than almost anyone. I mean, and he was just a horse. So compare that.
Yeah. I mean, you're 100% right.
We don't know how hard he threw the ball, but everybody said he threw it 100 miles an hour. I don't know how they could figure that out back then because his last year, I think, was 27. I think it was 1927. But no matter what, this guy threw more complete games, threw more innings. His innings will never be touched. I mean, he's got that many innings, Cray. I don't know if you've looked it up. But then the other thing is, his percentage of home runs is like the lowest of all starting pitchers. So he's got the most innings pitched and the lowest percentage of home runs against him. I mean, there was one year, Craig, he only threw like nine balls went out of the park on him in the whole season. And this guy's, he's racking up in a season getting close to 100 innings.
More than 100 innings. Way over 100 innings.
Yeah, my bad. 1,000 innings. Sorry, said that wrong.
Yeah. I mean, you look back in those pitchers in the early 1900s were throwing like 670 innings. I mean, today a manager will get sent to Alcatraz for doing that. But at the same time, these are pitchers who are sitting in the dugout, smoking a cigarette, drinking a beer.
Yeah.
I mean, Babe Ruth would not be that great today.
Here's another. I don't know. I don't know. I really can't say yes or no to that comment, only because I wasn't there to watch Babe Ruth play first. But the other part is Walter Johnson. I think he's in the top 5, maybe ish, for home runs by a pitcher. He would knock him out of the park. He was a heck of a batter.
I'll fact check you on that for a second,
Yeah.
but I mean, I just can't imagine some of the things, and you go back and you read the stories, especially about baseball in the early 1900s. First off, some of those stories are absolutely incredible. You can't believe some of the things, but they're that great of athletes. I mean, come on. When who was Kansas City's quarterback? I can't think of it, but he had that famous picture of him smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, Lenny Dawson.
Lenny Dawson in what was that, Super Bowl 5?
No, they played in 1 and 4.
4,
They
yeah.
lost in Super Bowl 1, and then
1 and 4.
beat the Vikings in 4. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think that picture was taken during Super Bowl 4. But you can't tell me he's a better athlete than Mahomes is right now, flat out on an athlete standpoint.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know, and here's why. We had this argument, whether it was on the air or in your office one time, about today receiver getting open versus the cornerback covering the receiver. And you just do your job. That's your job. Your job is to cover the receiver, cover him. Your job is to get open, get open. And you said, wow, it's not that easy. These guys are great. I'm like, no. The cornerback is at the same level athletically as the receiver. In theory, again, they're professional ball players, or they're D1 college, or they're D2 college, etc. And so
Right.
you're at the same talent level. It's the one who wants to win the most. And so you and I were arguing, and you were like, you're full of crap, And that's the way our conversations usually end. You're full of crap. And I said, well, then apparently I was more afraid of my coaches than the other guys were. Because I took them serious when they said, do not let that guy get open. Okay, coach. I was afraid of him. And I remember Coach Steckline, so this guy, he was left-handed. They called him Lefty, which I like because I'm lefty too, right? And so he would bounce the football, right? It's not a basketball, or it's not a soccer ball or a volleyball. So he would palm the ball. He would do this all the time, Craig. I mean, that guy could go fast. He would be walking, bouncing the football on the ground.
Yeah.
And it would pop back into his hand every time. He had done it so often, he was pretty good at it, And so he tells me, I got to cover the best offensive wide receiver in JUCO ball that year, and he tells me this, Craig. He says, if he goes into the stands to get popcorn, you pay for it. Yes, coach. Yes, coach.
I mean, I agree. On paper, it sounds easy, and I don't want to get into this right now, Phil. This is a conversation for a different time, but I mean, you look at it in the sense of, I look at sports in the sense of, can you take what sports is teaching you into the real life? And if your boss tells you to go do something, you're going to do it. However, it's not guarding a 6'5", 230-pound wide receiver that runs a 4.3 40-yard dash.
But if you're
Nothing is going to be more difficult than that.
If you're a cornerback of equal size and potential speed, then you cover him. And they're not recruiting cornerbacks that can't cover those guys. They're recruiting, they're doing it, and that's just the way. I agree that maybe LeBron beats Jordan one-on-one at their prime. I believe that. Or at least I could believe that argument.
Mm-hmm.
But LeBron's playing against the same caliber of competition as Jordan was. And he's competing. He's a little higher. Jordan was a little higher. So I get it. I think we're losing track of the ultimate. So have you ever seen the videos? We hear the story about King of the Jungle, the lion. Have you seen any videos about these mama elephants just destroying lions or destroying alligators? And I'm like, I think the alligator has a very big disadvantage against Mama Elephant.
Of course, yeah.
So I think the elephant is the king of the jungle.
I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that, but they aren't viewed as that because they're not a aggressor.
Right. So, and my point is not to get into African animals, but to get into the idea that we want this ultimate man who's that guy. He's never going to be surpassed. And you're always, like you said, you're always going to get a little bigger, a little stronger, a little faster, where the elephant's the elephant, the lion is the lion, and that's the end. That's the end of the road. Probably a few elephants are going to be better or stronger than the others. Bigger for sure.
Yeah, you're right.
We swerved off of sports into Africa and animals.
We definitely have a little bit, so I'm going to reel us back in. That's kind of opening day. I'm excited opening day at the K anyway. Baseball season's in full effect, and I'm sure we're going to be talking a lot more about it going forward. But Phil, the Final Four. We're down to 4 teams, and that's UConn, Illinois, Arkansas, Arizona and Michigan.
You know, you saw me yawning, and there was a reason why. I'm just kind of bored of college sports. All of it.
We just had one of the best Elite Eight, some of the best Elite Eight games I can remember, and you're going to yawn? Come on. How many of these games did you watch?
I watched none of them.
Exactly, and that's why you're yawning, because you didn't experience it. Phil, that UConn Duke game was absolutely phenomenal. UConn came back in the last 3 minutes of the game. They forced Duke into a turnover with seconds left, hit a 35-foot jump shot as time expired to take the lead and beat number 1 seeded Duke. That's what March is about. And I want to dive into that game first because I'm really ticked off because teams keep making the same mistake. And that same mistake is
showing up.
You get the ball, time's expiring, and their first thought is, let me just throw it in the air. I have yet to see that end up successful more times than unsuccessful.
What's the alternative?
I think you hold it, you get a foul, you go to the line and shoot free throws.
Okay, wait a minute. You're ahead?
They're ahead. Duke was ahead by 2 points at this point.
Okay.
They're inbounding the ball. They get it to Camden Boozer.
They inbound the ball. They're ahead by 2?
Mm-hmm.
And they take a shot?
They don't take a shot. They throw the ball to try to make sure time expires. Get it past the double team.
Yeah, I'm not following the... Oh, you mean coming up court?
Yeah.
How much time was left when they inbound the ball?
6 seconds.
And they didn't run out the clock like KU didn't against St. John? I guess that was the other way around. St. John's.
It was the other way around, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, that's exactly correct. If you remember from a couple years ago when Furman beat 4th-seeded Virginia, when they just tried to throw the ball up. It was that exact same scenario.
You get the ball to your Jacques Vaughn and let him get fouled.
Sounds that easy.
That's why the point guard usually is the guy that shoots 95% from the free throw line, because he's the guy that's the best on the team at doing that and dribbling. So that's the guy you get the ball to. I never coached basketball, and I know this.
Right. However, they keep making that same mistake. Again, this is 3 years apart where we've seen the exact same situation end up horribly.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Sounds almost like somebody told Duke they can't win this year. So
it would sound like that.
Your number didn't come out of the hat. We got UConn in this year.
Hey, they've got too many bets on you guys winning.
Yeah.
Is what it sounds like.
I'm just being that guy, but God, it doesn't sound like smartest guy in the team is the coach.
Right. But they get the win. They beat Duke. Congratulations to UConn. However, they're going to be playing Illinois, and I want Illinois to win for one of 2 reasons.
There's quite a Kansas connection, right?
So many Kansas connections on this Illinois team. The second reason being I just hate Dan Hurley. I hate him. Can't stand the guy. But Illinois, obviously, Keaton Wagler, one of the best players in college basketball this year, is a Kansas kid. Played high school ball in Kansas, grew up in Kansas. was not recruited by a Kansas school. I think I've complained about that every single chance I've got. Wasn't recruited by K-State, KU, Wichita State, doesn't matter. Finds his home at Illinois. Is being coached by Brad Underwood, who played at Independence Community College. He was a coach right here in Dodge City at the community college. Went on to be an assistant head coach at Kansas State University. And is now the head coach of this Illinois team. And Phil, this team is fun. I'm sure I can't get away with saying half the stuff these kids do in their post-game press conference.
Yeah.
But they're not media trained. And that's something that you don't see a lot. So when they're in there speaking their mind, having a couple slip-ups, to me that makes them look human. Yeah. And we got to remember, these are college kids. Right, they're going to say some things that might be questionable. And I think that makes them human. Kansas connections. Give me this Illinois team. I would love to see them make it to the national championship.
So you're pulling for Illinois. You're an Illini. All right.
What do you think?
Who are they playing? Are they playing UConn?
They're playing UConn.
Okay, so the other game is
Arizona, Michigan.
The cheatingest school in the country versus Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, and I'm just going back to a story you did back in football season that Michigan had been accused of doing a lot of things, and then they were found guilty, correct? They were breaking the rules?
That was an accumulation of things over the tenure of their athletic director. The biggest thing they got into was the Sharon Moore situation, where the guy went crazy. He was cheating on his wife with someone inside of the program, and he went insane.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe they weren't breaking the rules in the game, so maybe I need to correct myself. Sorry.
But, I mean, I don't like Michigan. I mean, I flat out don't. And it's going to sound kind of hypocritical of me to say it's because of cheating, especially being a Patriots fan. But
okay, you had to throw that in, huh?
I mean, I'm not going to be a hypocrite, I know. But I was never a fan of their teams, who they had leading the team. J.J. McCarthy. Harbaugh was in there coaching. I didn't like those teams.
I can't say but, Tom Brady's your boy.
I agree. Yeah. But that was way before my time.
Okay.
I can't remember a time when Tom Brady was on Michigan.
Yeah, he wasn't recruited very heavily, but he made them a pretty good team. I've never been a Michigan Wolverine fan either. I've never been a Big Ten fan.
I don't blame you. And the Big Ten is shockingly well represented.
Boy, they are. 2 teams in the Final Four. And how many in the Elite Eight? They had 4 or 3?
Oh, they had Nebraska.
That was in the Sweet 16.
No.
They had Nebraska, Illinois, Michigan.
In the Sweet 16, Nebraska.
And Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had 5 in the 16. Yeah, they had a good year, the Big Ten.
Yeah, they did. And I wouldn't have guessed that. Again, you think Big 12 is, at least my mind goes to.
Yeah. I can't believe Iowa State lost. I thought they were tougher.
I would agree.
Tougher to go through the fire. But maybe I'm wrong. Or obviously I was wrong. Interesting. So who do you think wins out of the 4? Who's our national champion?
I think Arizona is by far and away the best team in college basketball. I think they've got a young core. They're physical. They've looked like the best team, no doubt in my mind.
Can they handle the pressure this week to get to Monday night and win? Or I guess Saturday, sorry. They got to win Saturday, then Monday.
See, that's what I'm thinking, is I really do think that the national championship is this Saturday's game between Arizona and Michigan. To me, that is whoever wins that game.
The winner of that game goes on to play and win, but you think they're already crowned. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I would have to say.
All right. Sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, do you like one of these teams more than the other? Or still just yawning?
I mean, yeah, I'm yawning. I don't want Michigan to win. Mm-hmm. Mostly because I'm anti-Big Ten. Okay. And I like the Illinois connection because it's got some Kansas stuff in it, so I could see them being, in this case, my Cinderella. Mm-hmm. But as a Big 12, it's still hard for me to think of Arizona as a Big 12. So I guess that's kind of a consolation prize. It's like getting a Christmas present that's not wrapped. You're like, yeah, I saw that Tuesday when I walked in, and you're giving it to me 4 days later. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, I get what you're
I
saying.
knew what I was getting for 5 days, but now I got it. Oh boy, yeah, thanks. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to be
It's an
a bad.
interesting way to put it. Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a bad Christmas gift receiver either. Yeah, it's hard for me to think Arizona Big 12. Yeah, that's right. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
But I guess they beat Kansas. Kansas beat them, so that would be a good little deal. I suppose, though, I'm still probably going to deep down root for Illinois.
Okay. I love it. I love it. You got anything else?
Yeah, I was going to give you a real quick horse race update. So 2 great races were on this past Saturday. The Arkansas Derby, 90th running of the Derby there, broke a record for attendance. Take a wild guess how many people you think were at that event. Hot Springs, Arkansas has a population, it's about the size of Salina.
Ooh.
How many people do you think went to the track on Saturday?
I'm not sure how many a track could fit. What, 10,000?
No. Keep
No.
going, bro.
Man, way more.
73,000. Yeah.
Man.
I mean, this is a facility, again, it's about the size of Salina. 73,000 attended the races. It's a great time. It's close enough to go if you've never been. It's the first weekend. Well, actually, the best way to do it is to count backwards from the Kentucky Derby 5 weeks. Okay? So it's 5 weeks before the Kentucky Derby. Anyway, the horse that won, I'm going to say the names. You're not going to know them, but you might remember them when you hear them again. Renegade won the Kentucky Derby, and he won it going away, whereas Commandment, the Florida Derby was also Saturday. Commandment won the Florida Derby, but it was a photo finish for first. I mean, he beat him. He beat the second horse by a nose, literally. So I think Renegade, to me, he's going to be the favorite going into Kentucky Derby. At least that's the horse I like. The other one I like, he took second in Arkansas, Silent Tactic. This horse, it's like it's got a magnet. He follows the leader. He's not going to win, but he's going to take second or third. Every race I've seen him run, he's taken second or third. And it doesn't matter who he's running against. And then one of my favorite is Tappet. Tappet was a great horse several years ago. And one of his foals is Taptastic. And Taptastic's only raced twice. And in the Arkansas Derby, he took third. And I liked him going in, and so I was glad to see him take third. He's got a good breakaway down the stretch. So then again in the Arkansas Derby, Renegade, Silent Tactic, and Taptastic. Commandment won the Florida Derby. The Puma. What a cool name. The Puma.
I was going to say that I think that's the best part of horse racing is who comes up with these names.
I know. A lot of them have a name in the pedigree. Mm-hmm. They'll take either side, male or female horse. And then third was Chief Wallaby. And Chief Wallaby, he's that guy that's kind of like always around the basket to get the tip in. You know what I mean? He's that guy. That horse is in the money almost all the time. And then here's an interesting thing. The Santa Anita is this Saturday, the 4th. And it's usually the big race, or at least in the last 4 or 5 years, the horse that comes out of Santa Anita is considered probably the favorite going into the Kentucky Derby. But I tell you what, the Santa Anita seems a little bit anemic. The names aren't there this year. So we'll see. But race season is fully underway, and I'm excited.
I am too. I'm excited. You've gotten me a lot more into horse racing. So the one question I want to ask is, we even spoke a little bit today and you were talking highly about Renegade. What makes this horse stand out? I understand it got first, but is it his breakaway speed? Yeah. Is it just how fast he comes out the gate?
Yeah, no. So the good horses, Cray, they hold him back until coming around that last turn. Mm-hmm. So, and it's not a given. When they start these horses running when they're 2-year-olds and they get them competitively going 2-year-olds, they start them in 6 furlongs, so they only have to go around make one turn. But it's not a turn that's like a short turn. I mean, that's a long turn. So it takes that horse a while to come off that turn, both sides. Renegade, they hold him back, and then he starts coming up on the second turn. He starts pulling up, and then he breaks wide, and he's got breakaway speed. I mean, breakaway speed at the end. So last year's horse was Sierra Leone, or excuse me, was he 2 years ago? He's last year. And he would come from so far behind. Flavian Pratt was his jockey all the time, and Flavian just knew how to get this guy going. And this horse would come from so far behind and catch the leader, like, just get him at the wire, you know? Where Renegade, he takes off, and I mean, he just pulls away, and he's
just straight line speed. Yeah.
Yeah, he won. I think they said he won by 7 lengths, which is just pulling away from the pack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Secretariat type speed, but not Secretariat by any stretch. I mean,
do you think we'll ever see another Secretary?
No, not even. I mean, if you have not sat down, if you have no interest in horse racing, but you'd like to see something that would be probably the most amazing thing, go to YouTube and type in Secretariat Triple Crown and watch all 3 races progressively. Go from the Kentucky Derby, watch him run, and then go to the Preakness, and then go to the Belmont. And Sham takes second in the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness, and Sham was a great horse, and he pushed Secretariat both of those races. So then in the Belmont, Sham takes off, and Secretariat gets on his side, and it's an incredible race. But you cannot imagine, if you've never watched an athletic thing like this, like horse racing, I really encourage you, go to YouTube and just type in Secretariat Triple Crown races and watch them all 3 in succession. And it's amazing. It's amazing.
Well, Phil, that's going to do it for time right here on Sports Talking on SWKS Radio. Just a reminder, if you like our content, go ahead, stay, watch some old videos. We've got something new coming out every single week. But also, if you're looking for a place to listen to the Royals every single night that they're on, you can go to SWKS Radio and click on the 1370 KGNO button, and it'll take you directly to the stream. We're going to have every single Royals game for absolutely free on our website.
Yep. And or if you just are in town close enough to Dodge City or in our coverage area, tune in to 1370 AM. You can hear it in your tractor, in your car, in your truck, whatever you're doing outside working. It's a great way to spend the day listening to 3-4 hours of Royals baseball.
Right. Phil, that's going to do it for time.
Yeah. All right, Craig. Well, thanks for your time, and everybody be safe today. Have a great week.